Hey, welcome back to the Virgo channel. If you're new to the channel, my name is Laura. I'm going to do a general message for Virgo. Energy is fluid. Always interpret the message as it best resonates. If you're new to the channel, anything of any importance or relevance to the channel, you can find in the description box below. Now, know that this is a shadow healing page, okay, or channel, I should say. So I don't like to just look at what goes on the surface. We like to look and see what's going on within the spiritual wounds, the blocks, the shadows, see how they play out as karmic themes, and actually see how you can balance out your situation. If you don't get it, just follow along. All right. Now, if you want to enter into winning a free reading with me, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and write the word of the video in your comment box. If I chose you, if I wrote the word winner underneath. If I did, correspond a little bit, just back and forth on YouTube, then reach out to me at pureenergyhealer70@gmail.com. And we'll figure out the best day and time. And the day that we figure, I'll send you the link right to your email. Now, if you didn't get that email, just go in the description box because that is relevant information. All right. Let's see. Now, let's see what the word of the video is. And the word of the video is always how I like to start my readings off. So let's see what it is. It's unstructured. It's unstructured. And you are going to write the word unstructured in your comment bar. Oh, I feel like so much. Virgos are usually very structured, very organized. And I feel like you are, but in your own unique way. And I feel like a lot of people don't understand your way, and they misjudge you. They tend to not give you the credit that you deserve because they don't understand your process. Your process is unique to you. So you're someone that is very textile. I feel like you learn through doing. I also feel as if you're connected to someone that happens to be very structured. They're also a little bit boring and emotionally not as intelligent as you. I feel like you're spiritual. Again, you're a free spirit. That's why you're unstructured. You do what you feel and are led by the higher self, where you're connected to someone that's very logical, very analytical, very structured. And I feel like this person misjudged you because they didn't really understand what you were doing. And the reason why is because your approach to life is completely different. And I feel like, again, it triggered them in the beginning. So we're going to look and see the triggers. We're going to look at the triggers. We're going to look at the shadows. And we're going to look and see what their hidden truths are, because a person's hidden truths are never the same as what their wounds are. Thing is, a wound is really where we create a shadow. So a shadow is from the ego, and it creates a facade. It creates the mask. It's the persona that we want to be perceived as, where the higher self is really that true part of self. And we all have that part of ourself. There's that God part of ourself. That's when you see the devil and the angel on the shoulder in those old cartoons. Well, we all have that because we all have wants and desires. And I feel like your person cares a lot about what other people think and how things look. And the thing is, your process, I feel like, was one that was not one that was understood, but one that now they're looking at and they can see the picture. They didn't see what you were doing. So whatever it is that you're doing within your job, whatever it is that your approach to life, it could be, however you lived your life, they didn't understand it because they saw it as unstructured. So it could be seen as lazy. It could be seen as no direction, no concrete structure, which, again, this person gets results because they're very structured. Okay, so like I said, automatically there's feelings, but that's when there's a heart and mind disconnect. So let's look and see how your person reacted. Let's look at all their wounds and how this triggered you. Past lover, the display of affection you have towards your former partner triggers my insecurities. So I'm kind of feeling, I feel like this is for two, that both of you, your person doesn't feel strong with you because they didn't understand you enough, which they would have had to take the time to understand you. So watching you and perceiving through their mindset, it was a disconnect. So they perceive when people really like them, that they chase them, that they give them a lot of time. This person didn't want to do that. They wanted to position themselves almost like if they were better than you, because they usually get results. They usually go for lower hanging fruit, people that want to be with them for their money, people that want to be with them for what they could do for them. Because again, they are very structured. So I feel like there's somebody that's very financially savvy. There's someone that works very well with the elements of the physical world. But in that, they're very ego-y. And so again, they wanted to manipulate you through, making it like their relationship. Like they put that past relationship before you. So the relationship never really started off good. When meanwhile, I want you to know when they were with their past lover, they didn't even give their past lover anything because this person's not emotionally intelligent. They can do it for people that they don't have, that it's not real. They could do it for fantasy. They could do it for, like if it's passion led, but when it's real, when there's a real soul connection, and this is a real soul connection, because your person doesn't want to be attracted to someone like you. I feel like they wanted to be attracted to someone that was very showy, someone that, had a certain type of job, looked a certain way, and you don't fit any of the criteria. So it's like I said, they want you to give, and I feel as if you have a genuine connection with your past person that you were with, someone that you really admired, someone that you really cared about, and they never felt like they had anyone care about them the way that you care about your past person, or someone that was important, again, that was close to your heart. Like they've never felt that, and it triggers their jealousy because it's like they don't really feel like they can have it. Again, living very from their ego, they live mainly from their shadow. Blamed. I got tired of taking the blame when it wasn't my doing. Take responsibility for your actions. So your person would just, you know, they didn't want to give anything, but they wanted you to give, and they're used to being with lower hanging fruit, which is able very easily manipulated by gaslighting, by blaming, by pretending that you heard things wrong or that you're taking things wrong, that you're too sensitive, like doing everything to make it like you're the crazy one, but you though it didn't sway. I feel like they expected you to break. They expected you to get triggered. They like it when people create big fireworks and it's crazy over them, that screams and yells and it's like, why are you doing this to me? And like insists on trying to fix the relationship. They are like an energy vampire, and they assume that you were going to be that way, and that's nothing like how you are. And so I feel like you were like, oh, like the fake, like pretending that you're so in love with your ex still, but meanwhile, I know that it was a horrible connection. And then the constant blaming me for shit that I don't do because you have intimacy issues. And again, and because you do have feelings for me, you try to suppress them in every which way that you could possibly can, whether that's it's just avoidance behavior, whether it's you're pretending to care about somebody else more than me, or you're deliberately doing something to overcompensate. So it's really obvious. And then when you still don't get a reaction, it's like now you feel very triggered. So in order to really suppress your feelings, you got to check out. You got to check out. So if you're not feeling your person, it's because again, they have to face themselves. They have to face the fact that they had judgment about you, that the way that they conduct their life, the way that they saw themselves with this elevated ego. And really, by you standing your ground, like they have to look at themselves because you're contradicting what you're doing is you're contradicting really what this person wants to perceive about themselves, and you're not swaying. And they've tried to make you sway. They tried to hold back and play games, and they figured that you would get triggered, figured that you get emotional. That's not what happened here. Consumed, no emotional space available. So again, this person wanted you to be consumed with them. It's again like as a way of emotional manipulation. Like it's because they feel empty inside. When a person has shadows, it's it means that they've detached from parts of themselves. It means that they've rejected parts of themselves. And that's what we see here. So, in order to compensate, what they do is they try to like steal energy from other people. And that has to be where, their ego is getting blown up. So they're again good with the physical elements of the world. So they have money. So I feel like they're showy. They can be fun. There's someone that would be good for like um good for what is it they say a season or a day. So sometimes soulmate comes in for a day, a season, or a lifetime. This person is good for like I wouldn't even say a season because season's too long. Like for a good time, like a one night stand, like because that's their capacity, emotional capacity. However, they want you to be consumed with them. And it's like because they feel empty and they don't, and they have commitment issues. They have, intimacy issues. So they have problems in relationships. And that's something that, so even though they act nicer to that ex now, it's because they're not with them and they're led by guilt now. So their past person, I feel like is able to manipulate them also because of the fact you weren't here. You had me doing all the work. I wasn't able to create any life of my own. So really, it terrified me to actually move forward because made me consumed with you, where you didn't give me anything. And then the more that I gave to you, the more that it robbed me. And then of course your person doesn't want to be with the person that doesn't have an identity. That it's again, they're going to get bored because the whole point of why they are attracted is because your life is different. But what I see here is that this person's not really strong enough to let you be your own person. Again, constrained. Again, do I lie? It's like, I mean, consumed, constrained. It's like keeping you down, it's taking your energy because they don't feel whole. And that's because they have wounds that they have to integrate. So the soulmate that comes in for a day or a season is someone that is a past karmic, right? Past karmic mate. And so there is this intense bond. So, and it can be consuming. It really can because especially if we haven't did our own work and we feel empty. So we need to actually see why you are attracting a person like this into your life. I just want to pull like four more shadow cards from two different decks, and then I'm going to pull an inner child from an inner child deck to figure out why would you attract this type of person into your life? What do you need to learn? And what type of relationship and how do they feel? What are they going to do? Because even though this person um, has wounds and they played a lot of games, what we see here is that there's still a sense of, feeling. A person doesn't want to constrain you and want you to be consumed with them unless they have real feelings for you. It's that their feelings make them feel insecure, make them feel scared because they're not coming from their true self. They're coming from a place of where they don't really like who they are. Distant. So again, they can feel that you're distant and far away. And I feel like when you're in a relationship with them, they kind of check out. And so, or they tend to like, again, act like as if they're not really as invested in you. But I feel like right now this person feels as if like you are distant from them, which is really triggering them, which is making them look at their behavior and not just on how they treated you, but like all of it, out of like who they've dated, why their life is the way that it is, why they feel the way that they do. But when you are with them emotionally, they can check out, especially if there's someone that tends to escape and is avoidant of dealing with their issues, then you're going to feel like they're distant because they're not going to be there. Long road, you have a long way to go before you find what you want, but the journey helps you grow. So it's like this person never really, they always feel like there's something better, that there's something better, that they haven't lived enough. And the truth of the matter is they haven't lived from their true self. So but in that they've lived very safe. And so that means that they kept the same people that they grew up with. They didn't move that far from the neighborhood that they grew up in. They like everything the same. If they went to college far away, as soon as they came back, they decided to move right near their parents. It means that they haven't traveled, they're not worldly, they live more safe. And so when a person doesn't feel good about themselves, because that's really where this comes from, it's their relationships. It magnifies within their relationship, and that's my sake. So this person hasn't done any work yet. So as long as they don't do any work, they're always going to feel like it's a long road. It's like they'll never find what they're looking for. They're never really gonna find because what they're trying to find is inside of them, inside when they say the kingdom of heaven's inside of you, it means that if you can imagine it, you can create it. It's your dreams, your passions, it's how much you love yourself, it's how much you give yourself. It's integrating your wounds. And a wound is any place that you feel disempowered, any place that you've rejected, any part that you have become disassociated from. And we know those parts of ourselves. We are avoidant of those parts of ourselves. This person displays that within their relationships. And at first, it was, well, I have a connection to you, but you don't fit any of the description that I'm going for. And I feel like they expected you to be a certain way because they deal with that. You didn't act like that. You did not act like that. And so because you didn't, you want to see, make sure I don't pull from the same deck. Because you didn't, they it made them really have to look at themselves and it hurts them. I don't want to make you feel bad, but I almost feel like Virgo that they feel more bad about the fact that they have mud on their face, that they perceived you to be a certain way, to act a certain way, that had you all summed up, and that's not who you are, and that you don't care, and that you're not miserable, that you're not because they're miserable because they didn't expect to have feelings. And that's because I feel like they don't have good relationships. Playing dumb. Again, like just anytime that you try to talk to them, anytime that you try to say, tell them your feelings or what they were doing, they played dumb. That was their way of like keeping you consumed with them. That was their way of manipulating you. It's like blaming. And it's just this avoidant behavior to keep you constrained. That was it. And that's why they really do have a long road, and they have a long road because they need to do a lot of shadow healing. Actually, they're not doing it. They're suppressing their feelings and their emotions, being fragile. And so again, and then accusing you of being fragile when really what happens is when you're with a person like this, I feel like they made you overly sensitive. Listen, when you live in survival mode, you're heightening your senses, and that's done through your nervous system. So Anxiety happens, depression happens. This person wanted you consumed. I feel like they played this game before. They completely misjudged you. They completely misjudged you, and boy, do they have mud on their face. So we have to say, well, why did you have this person? What are they going to do? What's that bigger message to this connection? Because uh, we always want to meet our soulmate, our twin flame, and have that perfect relationship. But relationships really are all about teaching us about unconditional love, and that we need to become the energy of unconditional love, and that's by loving ourselves. And so what this person didn't think was that they didn't think that you knew what your value was. Laughter, self-love, resilience. So I feel it was all about self-love, right? That's what I was saying before. It's that this person didn't think that you loved yourself enough. And so I feel like laughter is going out and having a good time, being grounded. It's about connecting with other people. It's about, joy, happiness. And so these are inner child wounds. So it's again, you attracted this person to you because they brought you medicine. And that medicine was to create awareness. And that awareness is, you know, this person didn't bring you joy. I mean, when you have a lover, they're supposed to make you laugh. You're supposed to have be having a good time. This person came in here not like they wanted a good time. They're automatically coming in looking like, well, do you fit the criteria? Oh, I don't like the criteria. No, I can't. And again, they're trying to strategize a relationship. So it's again no joy in that. That's business. That's like very logical, but it's it's not the way that we conduct a relationship or build a real strong connection or foundation. What does is joy, it's happiness, it's creating experiences. And so what happened is that you didn't get that growing up. I feel like you didn't have joy for whatever reason. Again, there's many different people watching this, and so this is a collective reading. So some may have had a parent that was sick, some might have had a parent that was an alcoholic, some parent might not have been there. It doesn't matter what the reason is. It's that you weren't given the love and the nurturing. So you weren't taught how to take care of yourself. And so but what you did do was build resilience, right? Because growing up in an environment where you're not giving yourself love, it's hard. Things are difficult. And it's where do we pull our resources from to keep on going? And so this is, again, more about not connecting to like the same old familiar energy. And the same old familiar energy is like lacking of joy, and that a relationship is difficult because resilience, like, listen, relationships can be resilient if there's mutual self-love, if there's you have self-love, they have self-love, and then there's this unconditional love that you and them share for each other. That's not what I saw here. This person came in having conditions because they believed that it needed to look a certain way or be a certain way and not even take the time and then be annoyed that they have feelings. And so a relationship isn't about resilience when it comes to the everyday. It should be easy. What keeps us together is happiness. It's self-love. So I feel like for you, it was to learn self-love and to really get clear on what it is that you wanted. Like, do I want the same old? That relationships are difficult and hard because that's what I felt growing up. That's what I perceived. That's what I was born into. Or can I have joy? It's like resilience is good. Like again, if there is self-love and this unconditional love, otherwise the relationship's just hard. And so, and no one wants that over time, no matter how passionate we are about someone. So I want to like pull like three more for them and see what their three is, what their inner child wounds are. I'm just curious. Um, Crafts and creativity. So again, never developing a skill, never developing a passion, right? Because what is craft and creativity? Like, well, creativity is the way that we think a lot of times. You know, the creative genius is someone that is innovative and they come up with ideas and then they act on those ideas. And crafts are, again, when we're it's something that's a hobby, something that we love, something that we do in our spare time, um, because it fulfills us somehow. So your person, like again, is missing this part of ourself that I would relate to as passion. It's the passion for life. What this person does is they try to strategize the perfect type of relationship and then create passion is what I feel. And it never happens because like we don't make a relationship that way. Relationship takes two people. Trauma. So obviously they have a lot of trauma around relationships. I would say that this person was born into family karma that just watched bad relationships. So they inherited their ancestors' trauma. And then as soon as they were in relationships, it was one bad relationship after another. And that's when they decided to strategize how relationships needed to go, how they felt like they would take their emotions out of relationships and how that they can control relationships while getting what they wanted and giving very little because of what had happened to them. And so, really, the trauma, when we integrate trauma, we can integrate trauma by having crafts and through creative thinking and through our creativity. It's but that your person doesn't do that. So they stay detached, disassociated. And I feel like with you, they're feeling emotions that they have never felt before. And it's making them angry, it's making them triggered, it's making them because they don't understand. They feel like they're losing control. Again, a friendship. It's like whenever again I see this like card, I see like friendship. So I feel like this person like never built appropriate relationships. Relationships are give and take. Relationships are something that happen over time. And I feel like in the beginning, your person was someone that gave a lot and then they got hurt and they got hurt and then they got hurt and then they decided I'm not going to do this anymore this way. And so like they don't even know how to have friendships without strings attached or without conditions. And so they don't really have that. And with you, they actually feel like they can have it. They can see themselves with you, and it terrifies them because they're not used to these type of feelings. So we have to ask ourselves again, like I'm going to pull three cards to see like if there's any higher meaning to like this relationship before we close out the reading. Because sometimes there's now we see what this person is and why you attracted this person and what you how you actually integrated it. And I say you integrated it because you didn't react the way that they wanted to. This person's an energy vampire. You're supposed to again create fireworks. You didn't do it. You left them holding the bag. You let them staring at themselves. They look like they have mud on their face. They don't like it. Their whole ego is running the show. So it's again, I long to sweep you off your feet and shower you with love. And this again, what I said, it's like they have these intense feelings that they don't want to have. And they're real. And I feel like they think about you all the time. It's like they're like, it's almost like obsessive. And part of that is because they're like, I don't like the way that things ended. I feel like I need to say something. Um, I want to hold you in my arms and feel our bodies unite as one. So they're like this a lot of passion. And that is what is really making this person change. And a lot of times we wouldn't change, right? What makes us change? Well, it is this unconditional love, which we tend to have with our soulmates when there's soul recognition, and there is. You're just not somebody, again, that they would pick. They had a type, and their type might have been blonde hair, blue eyes, small and petite, and you may be someone that is like 6 foot and has dark black hair and, dark skin, and, you know, or you could be someone that is like a Buddhist and they are really like a Roman Catholic or very religious, or you may be a Democrat and they are a Republican. There's something again that's like you are not that someone that I would have picked. And also, like, I'm not used to these feelings, and because I shut them off a long time ago and I don't feel like I have control. Sometimes I feel like you're speaking to me in my head. At times it triggers me because I wonder how much you can see into me. See, again, that soul connection. And that soul connection is I feel you. I long for you. I want you, but I feel like their ego is just they can't wrap their head. They have a lot of triggers, and the triggers are from that unhealed. And so I would have to say this person is almost like triggered because like you're making them look at themselves, you're making them look at you differently, and they really didn't want to, because in having to look at you different, they have to consider being with you because they have these strong feelings for you. There's a lot of passion for that, so they can't just put you in that category of, well, I want to steal your energy so that you get all passionate about me so I get what I want. They can't do that. And they thought that they could do that. They thought that you would be so upset that they would, you carry on, and then maybe they could sweep in some passion in there to get what they want. And what they're seeing is it's like none of that is happening. None of that is happening. And so will they do anything? Well, I know I said I was going to close it out, but I'm like, I want to just see, will this person do anything? I have two decks of cards in here. Um, will they do anything? Will they do anything? And then what is the energy that you can bring into your situation to balance this out? Because listen, this is a pain in the ass. It's a pain in the ass because it's like this person has feelings, but they're so in their ego. And like they have to get to a place where they're really uncomfortable. And that's what I think is happening, because there's like, I want to sweep you off your feet. I want to hold you in my arms. So there is so much passion, and they are starting to feel, like you said, really agitated that you're not budging, that they can't manipulate you. Silent treatment. That's what they were trying to do, and they for a long time. And I feel as if they still might try that tactic a little bit because they felt like, well, if I don't talk to you, you're going to get mad. I'm going to hold back. So, you'll, you know, want to get more, and you'll yell and carry on and this and that is the way I get what I want. But really what's happening is that I feel like your person is the one that's going to flip out. So we see a little bit more of the silent treatment. And I think, again, that's before they explode. Twin flame journey. This is like, again, a higher energy, that like relationship. It could be. And that is because it would require this person to step into a better version of themselves. Right now, they're all in their ego. And it's like they don't want to change. But what makes people change? Passion, right? And what is passion? Passion is fire, and fire is the only element that can transmute like real spiritual wounds. And those spiritual wounds that were created in childhood from severe trauma, which is what your person has. They have severe, like that's why we get our twin flame journey. We feel as if um, our twin is our other half. There is no such thing. It's that where they have gifts, where they accelerate in life, we tend to lack in life. And where we accelerate in life, they lack in life. So it seems like they're our other half. And that unconditional love that twin flames have for each other, there's so much passion and there's so much because the pain of those wounds to actually have to go back and dig up situations and experiences to see why we're a certain way. You know, we wouldn't do it. We wouldn't do it. We have to feel the pain of a loss. And this is what I see. Say like your person starting to like lose it because, you know, they're realizing that like you're someone important. Like they really have this real soul connection. And like those games didn't play like the play out the way that they thought that they were. I wish I could give you more. So, and then there's a sense of if they come in because they played so much, many games, they don't feel like they have enough. But I feel like again, that's still their ego. And so, but what I see is they're softening, which happens a lot of times when a person has a big ego. They don't just let it fall down. They get softer and softer. And what we see too is what happens when a person has unconditional love for someone that hurts them. In the beginning, it's like when you get hurt by someone that you love unconditionally, you get so mad and you're like, I don't care. They can drop dead. They can do this. They can do that. Like, you know, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. It's, they shouldn't have done that. You have a million reasons why they shouldn't have. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what all that was. Because what is still remains is I still love this person and I don't care. And that is what they're feeling. And so now they're like, well, now that I've played all these games, I don't feel like I have enough. So I don't feel like they're doing anything right now. However, what I do see is like a softening before there will be changes because that's where it's going. This person can't resist. They want to resist, but what they see is that when it's real love, you can't resist. And that's what's happening here. So it's making them change. It's making them look at themselves. It's making them even trying to figure out how to come back into your life. So we say, like, again, what's the highest meaning for this reading? What is the energy that we're supposed to incorporate into our lives? Acceptance. I accept every step that life presents me without resistance. I try to find out what the universe is trying to teach me so I can grow. Thus, I advance in freedom on the path of light. So again, this is I would say like, it's all about healing. It's all about like when a person comes into our life that we are really crazy about, and there is this unconditional love that you have for them, it's to realize that you're getting a person that may have the same wounds as you, but the way that they're channeled out is different. So their approach to life is different. The way they view things is different. And it's not uncommon for you to get triggered by each other. So, which triggering is there's a sense of resistance, of not wanting to look, not accepting or being angry. So it really is to get to a place of acceptance and realize that again, the universe has brought this person into your life to help you heal, and vice versa. So it's not logically going to make sense. That's why you person with their I'm trying to strategize and you don't fit the criteria that's on my page. I have a check off list and maybe have 3 things on that list of 30 things, and so where it's like, no, you can't control like love. You have to come to a place of surrender. So I'm going to pull just one more. Serenity through love, release, and inner work. I know peace. I have a gentle view of life and welcome every step with confidence. I remain brave in the face of fear and have the wisdom to let the universe do its work. So it's again always coming back to this place of peace, inner peace, right? When we're triggered, it's like we're clearly not in a place of serenity. So it's all about doing the inner work in order to get to that place of serenity. And so if you don't know what it feels like, it's to be in a state of unconditional love and really acceptance. Acceptance, through acceptance, we can actually find serenity, meaning I can't control this relationship. I just have feelings. And this goes for you, not just your person, because even though you like love this person, it's not about controlling, it's about controlling you because the unconditional love is there. This person's mad right now because but eventually they're going to come back. That's what I feel. And, but it's a process for them. It's not going to be tomorrow, but eventually they'll make their way back to you. And then by that time, maybe you won't be mad anymore. Maybe you'll view the relationship different. You'll be able to see things from their point of view. A lot of times it's about putting yourself in the other person's shoes. And when you have unconditional love for someone and a lot of passion for them, well, it makes it a whole hell of a lot easier to be able to look at the situation from their perception. And that allows you to heal because you're not taking it personally. What you're seeing is, again, what this person's thought process is. You may not like it, but it's about when we have unconditional love for someone, there is no expectation of how they're supposed to act. It's not about ownership either, because then it's like, well, it's codependent. I feel like you need to act a certain way towards me in order for me to be satisfied. And that's saying, well, I need some part of you to make me feel fulfilled within myself, which is what this person was trying to do. They were like, again, they have a lot of shadows. They were trying to get you to give all your energy so that you were consumed with them, where you keep giving them. And that's not what happened. It's like, and so again, it's brought them to a place of looking at themselves. And because you did what you needed to do, however, to be in this relationship successfully, to be balanced out, is to always come to a place of acceptance. Even if this place person triggers you, it's to be able to see things from their point of view. And it doesn't mean you need to agree with them, but also be in a place of peace.